What's up, guys? 747 and welcome to Watch for the Plot. Subscribe for more content coming your way. Today we're watching a show called Honor Students After School. It's a 3-episode series, 20 minutes each, and there's about 5 different parts to this 3-episode series. And you're probably asking me, how are they splitting 5 parts in 3 episodes? What do they do? Did they leave one fully entirely for a skit and didn't have flesh out of a video? Yes, that's exactly what they did. So the first episode is exactly that. We have Yasumi, Yuutousei, they're the siblings, and our man guy who doesn't have a name is called him bowl cut, because look at his haircut. It's not a bowl cut, but I'll call it a bowl cut because I feel like it's a bowl cut. So we have them, right, just going at it nonstop. And the reason why bowl cut's there and isn't going to their school is because he went to stay at his uncle's lodge, which is the siblings something. The basically trying to say is they're connected there and they're staying there as well. I don't know what their connection is exactly, but it's something that the uncle of bowl cut doesn't mind them going over nonstop, right? And flash forward to what we're looking at now, they basically have ethered each other for the better part of a week, and they have to go back to school, obviously, because school's in session, education's fun. And while they're going there, Mr. Bowlcut decides to pull up at their school and said, "What's up? How you doing?" But he only said "What's up" to Yuutousei. The reason being because Yasumi was only being a fluffer. She wasn't fully committed to higher act for some reason, even though she was like halfway there. Don't ask me about any logic again. Don't. When it comes to these shows and showing and mostly anime and a lot of animation in general, if you're trying to ask for logic logistically and just trying to get to the end of things and say, why does Batman not spend $1 billion to save the city? Just if you ask those questions, you're missing the point of the escapism. But that's a rant beyond me. Anyway, the point is this, right? So after Yasumi realizes that Yuutousei and Bowlcut are going at it so often that she's starting to want to dive in ahead of her schedule that she thought she had in general, that she went and did it as well. And now they're just doing threesomes all over the place. And we flash all the way to the end of the series where bada bing, bada boom, Mr. Bowlcut here had to leave for a business trip. He came back a week later. They kept doing it. He had to leave again for real this time. And then the 2 girls like, damn, well, since you're leaving, we're gonna go to college and pursue our dreams. And I'm like, okay, that's the ending there. I'm nothing too crazy, but sure, whatever. And flash forward literally a year, and they're moved in together in an apartment, and they're just continuing what they were doing at the beginning of the episode, and that's the end of the series. So I assume they're living happily ever after, and they're polyamorous relationship. The end. Bada bing, bada boom. This one, since I'm breaking these down like they're separate episodes and videos, since that's how I'm gonna have to do it, since it's a clean break for every single show, it was pretty good. Pretty wholesome, no NTR, no violation, no blackmail, a little bit of voyeurism, but it was consensual voyeurism. So therefore, solid A+ approval. Now we're moving on to episode 2, part 1 and part 2. So boom, they're related this time though. Well, that's a pun there, I didn't mean to say that pun. But the part 1 and part 2, episode 2 are related, and everything we learned about episode 1, just forget about that. So episode 2, we have Natsumi and Yumisaka. They're basically a couple. They've been going out with each other for about 2 or 3 months now. And at this point, Yumisaka wanted to spice it up for some reason. She was like, hey, voyeurism, bada bing, bada boom. I saw my friend do it. I want to do it as well. So they're just going out and taking pictures. They're going out to the student council office, behind the school, anywhere they can find a secluded space, you name it. They're just doing it nonstop. And that's the end of that series. It's not anything in particular too special. Only thing that would make it even worthwhile, notably special, is the amount of contraceptives that are involved in the act of the voyeurism. If that's your thing, go ahead. Boom. So skip to part 2, episode 2. Just blitzing through these things. I'm telling you. Oh my God. I'm telling you. No, it's Yumisaka's house. However, she's not there because I assume she's being voyeuristic of her boyfriend, Natsumi. So with that in mind, her friend Seda is watching the house, right? She's just chilling there watching the house. And her brother comes in, his name is Shu, and Seda's like, oh, you're mine, come here. She pulls James Charles, and that's the end of episode 2, pretty much. It just, that's it. There's nothing particularly special there. Like, episode 3. Episode 3, part 1, it's Izumi and Moriyama. So Izumi sees the transfer student, Moriyama, and she's like, oh, I want him to transfer something else inside of me. And so once she set her eyes on him, like immediately, she went and grabbed him, had him grab her, and they were going at it again. Voyeurism again, wholesomeness again, nothing bad at all. Nothing, just power dynamics even. It's just solid across the board. I would say, even if the aspect of her hunting him down like a cougar does seem terrifying, intimidating at first, it just nullifies it out when they're in the throes of it. So just, then there you go. It's completely safe for you. Safe in a sense where it's like, not like anything else I've seen. So yeah. And the last part of episode 3, we have our girl, Hina, rich as hell. She's just in a palace like mine. Basically, imagine this whole suite here, amplify this, multiply it by 10, and that's her room. So she's that rich. And she's having a tutor over, the parents hired. And the tutor is sort of starting to, notice her. He's like, hey, what's up? How are you doing? And she's like, I'm doing you. And they were at it in the living room. The ending trope was like, oh, you should have waited till my parents left type shit. You know what I mean? It's like that, the whole voyeuristic avenue. Basically, if I could summarize this entire series, I would say voyeurism, slightly wholesome, and a lot of female dominance, essentially, but in a wholesome way. Pretty much. But yeah, that was Honor Students After School, and I must say, it was quite a refresher. I say this every single time after I watch Wholesome Review, mainly because it's so rare to watch them and find them. Now, I assume, obviously, there is an entire catalog and genre to do this for. However, they're also probably boring as hell, right? They're not going to be this extravagant, out of nowhere type shit. It's gonna be very straightforward, very unlike Dark Love or Shiku X Kanojo or Dragon Rider or even an Inju Kati Kyoshi. Very unlike any of those shows. So yeah, we're looking good. We're looking fine. We're just cruising along. A+++ here in wholesomeness. All right, guys, I don't have an outro. If I did, it was mad because don't make fun of the video. Good night. Yeah, it's a vibe, or 2, or 3, or 4.